Hi there and welcome back to the channel. So today filming is actually my birthday, and I decided I was going to do something kind of crazy for me for my birthday with regards to running. And it didn't really turn out the way I wanted to, so I kind of wanted to actually use it as a kind of a talking point for a video. So here we go. Um, so my plan for today, I turned 32, so I thought to do something kind of crazy that I'd never done before. I'd run 32 miles on my birthday on the treadmill. And that did not end up happening. I did run, and I was running really well, but at about 50 minutes or so in, I started feeling little twinges in my left calf and my right ankle. The right ankle was where it kind of started, and it was in such a way that I thought, maybe if I keep, at it, I can kind of work this out. And it kind of it subsided some, so I thought, okay, I'm good. And then the thing started going on in the calf as well as the thing going on in the ankle, so I thought, that's not good. If this keeps up for too much longer, I'm going to have to stop, which I did. So I didn't even get 7 miles in because I thought, in my process, I was thinking, well, maybe I could do a 15K instead of a 32 mile, and I was thinking, well, maybe a half, but then considering everything just kept going on, I thought, no, it's better to just stop now and not push myself and hurt myself. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about is challenging yourself to do new things, to possibly do crazy things, but do it within reason. So I've done stuff like this in the past, like the year my 30th birthday, what I ended up doing, the beginning of May, I ran a 10-mile race, and then I think 2 weeks later I ran a half marathon. The following week I ran a 10K. Following week, which was actually the first weekend of June, I ran a local 5K. And then the week after that, which was June 10th, I ran my first ever full marathon. I'd never done any sort of thing like that before where I was running races one a weekend or close to that. Like I said, the 10K was earlier in May, and then the rest was all later on and in the beginning of June. So that was kind of the first time I really did a really kind of crazy challenge. Prior to that, I had been introduced to the Run Disney races, and I ended up doing the Dark Side, what was then called the Dark Side Challenge in Disney, doing a Star Wars Dark Side themed race, two of them, a 10K and a half in Disney World. So, then, the summer prior to that, I ran a 5K and a half marathon at an area near where I live. That race is actually no longer. That's actually a topic I've kind of wanted to discuss in another video, past races I've done, experiences and stuff. So, but anyway, so up to May 2018, I had never, really done really crazy challenges. Like, aside from doing those couple race challenge weekends where I ran 2 races on 2 separate days. But I'd never really done like that kind of, okay, I'm going to do a race this weekend and this weekend and this weekend and this weekend, like that. Especially not working from the longest distance to the shortest and then doing the longest distance I had ever run up to that point. Prior to that, the farthest I'd ever done was a 30K, which equates to 18.6 miles. I did that for the local Heart Run earlier in 2018. Then I did the Star Wars Challenge, and then I did the full marathon. So that was the longest I had ever run up to that point. And then the only other, like, really crazy challenge I did was in August of 2018. We went down to Massachusetts, to Rockport. There was a race down there that I thought would be kind of fun, called the Triple Threat. Basically, you could choose to do 1 or 2 or all 3 races, and the races were a mile, a 5K, and a half marathon. And it started at, I think, 8 in the morning. Yeah, because by the time I started the half, it was 9 in the morning, and it was starting to get hot and humid. And I don't know if you've ever been at a coastal town in Massachusetts in August, but it was pretty hot. That's another one that I'll talk about in another video, but suffice to say, it was a very difficult set of races. For one, because I ran 3 races with only, a few minutes in between each race. And it was, the weather was not complementary to what I'd been doing up to that point. So, but anyway, with challenges, it's always important to challenge yourself. Be it, something kind of minor, like I'm also not the best at socializing. So, another challenge for me could be to just go out and strike up a conversation with a brand new person and, try to see where I go with that. It could be something as simple as that, or it could be something as big as saying, I'm going to run my first ever marathon, full 26.2 mile marathon. And I've actually had a few books that I've read that I highly suggest. One, Run the Edge. I read that, and that's what actually inspired me to run my first ever full marathon, because that was, in that book, you really should read it, but the gist that I took away from it was, always try to make yourself a better person in any way, shape, or form, and use that toward improving other aspects of your life, or vice versa. So, I found that I'm a runner, so I thought the way I could challenge myself to better myself was to do something that I had never done, which was run a full marathon, which I did. And I will tell you right now, there are only a handful of full marathons I want to do. Just because I enjoy half marathons. Full marathons are kind of cool. It's nice getting done with a big one like New York City, which I did, and being able to say, hey, I did it. But aside from that, the 26 miles is not terribly enjoyable for me. I thought New York City would be much better than my first full marathon, which was Lake Placid, and I don't know if you've ever been to Lake Placid, but you're up in the Adirondacks, so you're up in the mountains, and you're going up and down hills. And yeah, beautiful scenery, don't get me wrong. It was a very good experience. I would trade it for nothing. But I also don't really feel like doing very many 26-mile races. So I thought with today being my birthday, I challenged myself to see if I could do 32 miles. And this was a twofer for me. Challenged myself to do something, to go the farthest I'd ever gone before, and to help train for the Dopey Challenge in Disney, which I am currently signed up for. That's happening in January, so fingers crossed. You know, things are looking a little better by then, so I can actually do it. But that, you do a 5K on Thursday, a 10K on Friday, a half marathon on Saturday, and then you cap it off with a full marathon through Disney World, the entire Disney World facility, excuse me, on Sunday. And that is, so totaling that up, that's about 49.6 miles. That's a crazy amount of mileage, so I thought I've been doing 5Ks, 10Ks, 15Ks, and half marathons each week pretty much. So I thought it would be good to actually start incorporating a full marathon into some of my training in preparation for that. As it turned out, my body didn't really want to do that right now, so I'm going to try again next week, maybe. But my main thing is challenge yourself to do something new within reason. So, especially with running and any other sort of exercise or anything. Challenge yourself to these new things, but listen to your body, know your limitations. If you are someone who's been sitting on the couch for the last 10 years, not really exercising or anything, you're probably not going to be able to just get up and go out and run a 5K, let alone a full marathon, because your body's most likely not in the greatest shape. So always know your limitations. But still, the only way you can move forward and become a better person or become better at whatever it is to challenge yourself. So, I implore you, if you're thinking of doing something crazy, aim for it, but don't be chagrined if you don't manage to complete it. Just give yourself a pat on the back for attempting it, and look at what you did, see if you can make any improvements, and try again the next time. That's really all you can do. That's all any of us can do when it comes to just about anything. So, I'm going to leave it with that. Thank you very much for watching. Please click the link, go to my Patreon in the link below. Like and subscribe, and if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment below. Other than that, I'll see you next time. Remember, we're in it for the long run. Peace and love.